There are different ways in which we describe our experiences. One of the ways in which we talk about our experiences by saying whether we had a flow experience or not, whether we felt we were in absolute flow as we were doing something. It could be playing a sport, it could be talking to someone, it could be making something. And as we do that, there are certain common threads that come across most of the flow experiences that people report across. The sense of time changes, the sense of feeling effortful or effortless is different. The sense of whether other things that we wanted to accomplish that are pending or are to-do list, all of them just are absolutely not there. There is this vivid, very clear kind of way in which we are moving in these experiences, through these experiences. For a long period of time, there's been this conversation around, on one end of the spectrum there is the flow experience, on the other end of the spectrum you get either boredom or anxiety. So anxiety is where one doesn't know how the outcome is going to be, either depending on the outside situations and or one's competency to be able to manage the doing part of it or the managing of the outcome part of it. There are other sets of experiences which is more to do with boredom, and for a long period of time boredom has been seen as in a different light. Let me just put it this way. Of course, a lot of people have seen it in their own way, and I'm not commenting on that. But I think what essentially happens is possibly the following. So imagine we have this flow experience. We know how it feels, first person, to be in that flow experience. Now, as we move towards an experience which is more towards boredom, we have this restlessness or something that is missing our grasp, and there are other things that just crop up somehow in our awareness. That, what am I doing? What has this got to do? Or this is just not helping me, or this is just not exciting enough. Can I do something else? And something may pop up. Oh, you need to do this, or this is remaining, so on and so forth. I think when in flow experience people talk about that there is this capacity to be able to. Okay, let me just backtrack. Flow has to do with something when a person is doing. The conventional flow experience is something when the person is doing. Now, in the doing, we have the doer and the capability or the skill of the doer. There is the act of doing, and then there is something being done on something. Let's say there is the doee. Something has been done on something, so that let's just call it doee. So the relationship between the doee and the doer is in such a way that the doer constantly keeps having this sense of uh, having the essential ability to be able to do the thing. It could be sports, it could be just making something. And in this sense, imagine the Dewey is a human being, or the Dewey is some form of a machine or something that we are working on. And the way we move from one moment to another, from one action to another, from one stroke to another, from one movement to another, we have this, at least overall, a sense that we are moving in certain direction, and it's challenging enough, but we are able to rise up to the challenge given our ability. Now, in the boredom, the reverse happens. Whatever is the thing that is causing boredom, a person, a conversation, a situation, a thing, um, the way it shows up is where one feels that one's ability is to be able to do that is just not being challenged. And if we just shift this and say that moment, what really is challenging oneself is not the outside thing causing boredom, but the other things that are standing up in awareness and calling out this boredom. So, all the statements or all the feelings, all the thoughts that rise up at these moments, like this is so boring, or this is so not challenging, or what has this got to do with the goal that I'm supposed to do, or there is something else that I was supposed to do, so on and so forth. So, I think those things are actually standing up and challenging the person in order to remove oneself from the thing or the person causing boredom and then focus on something else. And I think cultivating an ability to be able to meet the demand of these various voices inside that are wanting the person to just defocus from the thing causing boredom onto something else, which is more exciting, challenging, engaging, flow, that capability to be able to address these demands is another way of looking at flow experience. So when one gets into various contemplative meditative practices, one would realize that if one is able to bring, as soon as these things crop up in awareness, one is able to hold them, see through them, see the various constituting parts of them, be aware of one's quality of posture, sense of feeling, and over a period of time cultivating the ability to not be felt bored when there is a boring event. So, in this sense, flow is not just the place where the task demand is narrowly categorized, defined as the one which is very conventional, popular, or one's own past experience driven. But now we redefine, reimagine, broaden the task demand and say that even in the cases where it is boring, and when those voices, those feelings, those different goals, those different to-do lists stand in the awareness, loud shouting that one needs to move away from the thing that is causing boring and then attend to any of them, the ability to attend to these and ensure that not pandering to them all the time, and over a period of time developing interesting ways of seeing them, seeing through them, living with them, is also an important aspect. And eventually one would see that one is able to broaden the flow states and become more fluent in inwards and outwards task demands or goals. And it is in this sense that one can look at meta flow as the concept and not just flow as the concept.